Salut everyone! In this video, we're going to talk about an interview made at CES 2025 about the SteamOS. And Pierre-Loup Griffais, I hope I'm pronouncing his name well, I believe he's French, but this is how we'll pronounce it in French. Pierre-Loup Griffais is in this interview, so I'm really impatient to hear from him. I did follow him, I think it was on Twitter or Blue Sky, I don't remember, he has an account there. And yeah, I think it's going to be great to hear what he has to say about SteamOS. Having the info directly from Valve. Same shirt for video, yeah, and same haircut, Dan. So before we start this video, I want to make sure that PCWorld, if you have a problem of me reacting to this video, no problem, please send me a copyright strike, I will totally get it. If not, we cool. I think I could bring a little bit of value of the interview itself. Let's see how it goes.
Hey PCWorld fans, I'm here with Pierre-Loup from Valve. Please tell the fine folks what you do over at Valve.
Hey, I'm an engineer at Valve. I've worked on SteamOS and our hardware initiatives as well.
Okay, I also follow...
Okay. So before we start, I have to say it straight. I think Pierre-Loup Griffais is a legend. Okay, I'm not mashing my word and I'm gonna say it straight. So don't worry, Pierre-Loup, I'm married. Nothing funky behind the scene happening here. But I do believe this gentleman is a legend. He will be a legend as Gabe. He will be a legend as TKG. He will be a legend as, you know, like all those big devs behind the scene, which are doing like a crazy job. Like a really, really crazy job behind the scene. And I'm really happy to kind of like see him for the first time. I can't say meet, because obviously like it's not a real like, you know, introduction there, but it's actually nice to, you know, listening to him and have this type of interaction which are more than just, you know, a tweet or a feedback somewhere. So let's listen to what he has to say.
Follow you on Twitter.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I know you're somebody who likes to update the community, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm on Blue Skies these days. But,
oh, Blue Sky,
yeah,
okay.
follow
I
me
gotta
on there
follow
too.
you over there.
That's right.
Okay, hi.
Okay, so this is starting strong. You're on Twitter. Yeah, I'm also on Blue Sky, so it's kind of like it doesn't want to be associated with the mess on X right now. Okay, and I like it. Okay, I like it, dude.
So yeah, you have a device here. This is not a Valve-made Steam Deck though, but it is powering SteamOS.
That's right. Yeah, SteamOS is fully working there, like all the experience you're used to on, you know, Steam Deck has all the features, all the functionality.
Okay, yeah, that was the big news here at the show, is that you are partnering. Valve is partnering with Lenovo with this Go S to have a powered by SteamOS operating system. I guess the first question for me is like, what?
Okay. So first, I think it's really good because now we have the proof. Like this announcement is the proof that Valve is actually pushing the SteamOS on other devices. We had an early proof, I think it was 2 or 3 months ago, where they announced that they will support also the ROG Ally. But now it's at CES, and you have a Valve representative and a Valve dev. Like, you know, if you are new to the Linux community, like this guy is a legend. I'm going to repeat it again, but like, he's there at the CES in Las Vegas to share the implication of Valve and indirectly, like, you know, the push of SteamOS toward a new handheld device. And this is awesome, chat. Okay, I just wanna put that in context. As I'll always do in my video, we're gonna start with a little bit of context. I think this is the big tech. Before we start to go a little bit deeper there, this is awesome. And you can see there it's running like SteamOS. So let's see what they're gonna talk about.
Are the goals of Valve to partner with external partners? Because you obviously have a Steam Deck available. Why do you need to work with other partners, I guess?
Right. Well, our goals are pretty straightforward. Like PC and PC gaming, which is PC in general, is all about, you know, different hardware vendors bringing different kinds of devices to the table, right? And some of them might choose to prioritize different things. So Steam Deck, you know, is our best attempt at providing a nice and streamlined, you know, gaming experience. experience there. But there's a lot of other different vendors providing different takes on what that is for them, right? And so we're interested in supporting all of those with SteamOS. Okay. So make our best effort in making sure that all those segments are working really well. Whether if you have like different controls, different battery life, different performance levels, we want to support all of that with SteamOS.
Okay. All right.
So we're providing SteamOS free of charge to anyone that wants to ship with it. Oh. And Lenovo is our first partner, and we're excited to bring SteamOS to this Go S to the market.
Okay.
So I think it's really important here, right? Like what he's saying is that with Valve and the Steam Deck, we are providing our best, well, what it is the best for us, right? But there is also like different vendor out there who want to bring something else, whether it's related to hardware, whether it's related to like what's the name, like gamepad or whatever. Like there is over, like I would say, like product out there that are available, and the vision of Valve is to provide the operating system for any type of handheld if they want to for free. And this is awesome, dude, because it literally means they are willing to make and share the experience of the SteamOS on different devices. And this, my friend, is really important, because let's be honest, the biggest drawback of using one of these handheld with Windows is the fact that the interface of Windows just suck. Like it just sucks, Chad. So there is advantages like playing anti-cheat game and all those stuff, which are not supported on Linux yet. But you have to think about all the other issue you're gonna get by running Windows of those devices. And I'm telling you, from all the video I've seen, it seems that SteamOS is really what make the most, like I would say, like best experience for this type of device. And I think this is really nice, right? So from a Valve standpoint, it kind of shows that they don't want to limit their OS to their own handheld too, right? They want to push it everywhere. So having them saying that, it's great, right? They're still willing to do it for free.
So Lenovo is the first partner, but are you interested in working with other partners as well?
Definitely, yeah.
This
is how it ended up working out. Like we found an interested party that had hardware that was a good fit in terms of timelines and compatibility with what we were working on. Okay. But we're definitely interested in working on more like that in the future.
Is there any worry that like people will buy less Steam Decks and buy more of the partner devices?
That's a good question.
I don't think we see them as competitors necessarily. You know, it's a lot of different complementary offerings. I think we're excited to see how it does in the market, and we're excited to see, going back from the feedback that we got initially when people were playing Steam on other handhelds and being like, okay, the experience is maybe not quite in terms of seamlessly getting in and out of game and being able to, suspend, resume your device, and maybe not quite what they were looking for. We're excited to see how it is now that SteamOS is on there. And,
Man, okay, I start to really like Pierre-Loup. So I don't know Pierre-Loup personally, but it's a nice way and a really polite way to say that we bring more feature on the table than the other device cannot do. And something I didn't mention to you guys, like I've been playing with the Steam Deck a little bit, and something which is just insane with it is that if you are playing a game and you put it in sleep mode, whatever game, like not online game, but like normal game, which are not connected to internet, you stop it and you go back, like let's say 1 hour after, come out of sleep directly in the game where you just left the game. Like this is a feature which is just insane. Like you don't have that on Windows. The other part I think which here is really interesting is the fact that Valve doesn't see the spread of its operating system toward over hardware as a threat. They are willing to play the game because obviously it's a win-win situation for them. They know that maybe the Steam Deck doesn't fulfill all the expectation for certain gamer. However, they can still spread their operating system and their Steam library indirectly to other platform. And I think this is great, right? Because from a business standpoint, they are still winning there. My vision is like, when you are using SteamOS, obviously you're going to be more there is more appeal to buy a game on Steam because it makes the experience a little bit smoother than going through another like launcher, right?
Kind of improve that experience.
Can you talk a little bit about what it was like working with Lenovo? I mean, is this something where it's like, oh, hey, you know what? Here's SteamOS. You guys go figure it out, or what's that relationship?
Oh, it's definitely more of a close collaboration, right? And I think it'll continue post-launch too, as we're coordinating on updates and things like that. There's a lot of things like firmware updates and making sure we have great support for their onboard controls. You know, be able to customize the lighting, the power.
Dude, this is so cool. Like, you have to think, this is so cool that now we arrive to a point where you can have a device like that working with like open source stuff. Like, think about it, Chad. Don't you think this is insane? Like, to me, it's really cool. And the fact that now Valve is going to be like supporting all those devices, the upgrade firmware, and for over like hardware, it's just crazy, Chad.
Performance targets, all that stuff requires pretty close coordination. So far it's been going great.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, the configuration is definitely different in terms of, you know, versus the Steam Deck. I mean, there's only one trackpad versus two, things like that. Like, how are you going to adapt SteamOS to kind of take all these controls into account?
It's part of the work we're doing, you know, make the UI more responsive and follow the hardware capabilities. So there's already a couple differences that are here in the build that you saw. Things like, you know, the screen is 120 hertz, it's VRR, so all that stuff you know, it's reflected directly in the performance menu. You see it kicking in right away.
Man, this is so cool.
You know, the different set of controls will be the same in the configuration dialog.
So
this is so cool that their blueprint, you have to think it this way, their blueprint can be adapted toward other device or toward other hardware. And I'm thinking the more hardware which is going to come there, the more like polyvalent SteamOS will be in the future. And I like the fact they are doing it slowly, right? They're not ramping up like crazy. They are taking the thing in their hand and make sure like the user experience is still the best. Because if you listen carefully to what Pierre-Loup say, it's all about, you know, responsiveness and ability to use the hardware to the maximum. And I really like this approach, right? Like, you can tell like he's really like user-centric versus anything else.
And the same sidebar that slides out, you'll still be able to manually config all that kind of stuff, like refresh rate.
Quick access menu is all there. The chords are all there, so that's going to be on this button here.
Yeah, you see?
This button's going to get
the user
the,
experience.
Steam menu. So all this stuff is really the same experience that you can expect.
Is there any barriers though? Like, you know, like, hey, you know what? We're not going to support this weird feature, like detachable controllers or something like that.
Well, not right now. I don't think we've identified anything like that. I think we should be able to support all the features that the hardware is intended to support from what we've seen. And you know, conversely, all the stuff that comes in SteamOS, like desktop mode, being able to plug in any peripheral, loading in third-party software, all that stuff has been working great.
Okay, yeah, that was my other question.
Wow. So not only they are thinking about, you know, like the GameScope approach, like the Steam big picture approach, they're also thinking about the experience on the desktop, dude. USB port, connectivity.
Is it, I mean, people love to modify their Steam Deck. I mean, I have a bunch of different mods on mine. So you're saying that whole experience still exists? Okay.
Yeah, it's the same OS build. They'll get OS updates at the same time. So don't really expect any differences when it comes to customization or the developer experience.
Okay, nice. I mean, what about other form factors? I mean, things like set-top boxes is something, I don't know, like I would love to see a little set-top box that I can put under a TV.
Me too.
Okay. Dude, look at this smile. Look at this smile. Oh, I think we got something there. I think we got something, brother.
Running SteamOS.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, look at the smile. So this question was like, what about having a little box running SteamOS? This is what's the question. Like, what will be, so would it be cool to have a little box running SteamOS as a console? And look at this smile. Okay, I'm going to replay that. Did you see it, chat?
I mean, what about other form factors? I mean,
what about other form factor? Okay, Pierre-Loup is serious, and look at this.
Things like set-top boxes is something, I don't know, like I would love to see a little set-top box that I can put under a TV and
Me too.
running SteamOS.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Me too, that'd be great. Okay, guys, can we announce on this channel the release of a game console running SteamOS? I think that's going to be their next move, chat. Like SteamOS is going to go there first because, again, they control the hardware. They are going to push this new controller, and to me, this is what it means, right? This is what it means. That will be awesome, chat. Would you like to have a SteamOS console under your big TV, which support VRR, which support HDR, which support most of your Steam games, and also games from other launcher? Think about it, dude. Little box confirmed. PS still working on the name.
I think, for us, it's kind of a progressive thing. Like first expanding to different handhelds, so we're kind of staying in the same form factor. But then maybe once that's more robust, and like going beyond that is definitely part of our goals. It's just unclear what the time frame is.
Okay, so here, guys, we have a big information. The long-term plan will be to have SteamOS on more platforms than the handheld, which means maybe a console, maybe PC, but there is issue on the midterm towards the timing. And again, I think honestly that this is related to hardware. That will be my 2 cents.
Okay, yeah, I mean, like honestly, like I could see like gaming laptops. Somebody who just games on the laptop.
Yeah.
Hey, if you just want to load SteamOS on there and just game, like it's a good experience, right?
I mean, in truth, a lot of that work has already been happening behind the scenes, right? So if you look at the build of SteamOS that exists today compared to, say, last year, you're already going to have quite a bit better experience if you just load it on a PC with, for example, AMD graphics.
So you see, another good point. The difference in terms of experience compared to what it was 1 year ago to what it is now is totally different if you load the operating system on a laptop or a desktop if you have an AMD card. So I'm going to show it again to you guys. We are running SteamOS on a Steam Deck. So this is a real experience. And after searching some of the package there, I can see there is a lot of work behind the scene, which are obviously not loaded yet, but wouldn't be that hard to activate from a developer maintainer standpoint. So when I see that those drivers are already packaged in the repo, it kind of trigger me, chat. It kind of trigger me. So I'm thinking they are working on it behind the scenes. They don't want to talk about it because they don't have the end game ready, but it's there, dude. It's there. And it aligns with Pierre-Loup is actually saying, right?
We're still working on expanding hardware support and things like that.
Yeah.
But, if you load it on your PC right now, the experience today is going to be quite a bit better than it was last year. And it's just going to keep getting better as we do that work behind the scenes.
Okay, so you get the idea. They are still working on it, chat. They are still working on it. They just don't know about the timeline because they may have some roadblock. I'm thinking about Intel and NVIDIA. This is awesome, chat. Air Max. We kind of already have that with CachyOS and Basite. Yes and no. I do believe SteamOS still have a place as an operating system for your PC. I still believe it's not ready, but I don't think SteamOS will fulfill the same need as Basite or CachyOS. It's a little bit more subtle. So for you or me, which like to, tinker with the system, which are kind of know the base of Linux, it's fine. For a newcomer, we just want to install something and do something on their PC, especially gaming, I would say there is serious difference between the three operating systems. So I'm feeling like Chris didn't see the video before posting this, which is odd. I think some of the arguments of Chris are still valid, but I think most of them are not. So, some of his arguments are valid. The hardware part, it's a fact. And what Pierre-Loup is saying here is underlying the issue related to hardware. Now, the argument of Chris saying that it will never be as good as Windows, again, me, I don't like to use the word never. Because we don't know, right? What the future holds. but in the short term, he's right. Mid-term, I don't know, and long-term, I think he's wrong. But this is just my take.
Is this going to have to slow down validation time? Because now you're not just validating against the Steam Deck, you're going to have to validate against other devices.
Oh, that's a good question, dude.
I mean, I think that we should be able to test all that stuff pretty well, and we have a pretty good, a finely tuned system where we have a lot of beta channels. So first, OS updates go into the preview channel, then the beta before it gets into stable for all users, right? Okay. So there's a subset of users that always want the latest and greatest, and so it lets us catch issues early, right? Okay. So even if something, God forbid, slipped through our testing, we're still able to catch it before it gets to all users thanks to that program. Okay. And
so this is a good question, right? The more hardware you had, the greater the complexity. And I do believe that what is happening right now by scaling up slowly and progressively, they put themselves in a position where they're going to get like feedback about how their whole like infrastructure and testing process, like reliability is, right? So you're going to be really in a position where like, okay, you know what? Let's go slowly with the Steam Deck, then add over hardware, then maybe, whatever they are, it could be a console Steam Deck, right? As we said in chat, the L box. And then when we arrive at a level where it's really like fluid on their end, push it wider. And I do believe this is one of the reasons like they are taking like such a long time. And to be fair, I don't think it's that long, but I think from a user standpoint, which have no idea of how hard and complex it is, you might think it's long, but I don't think it's long. I think it's fair.
So I think it definitely means that we have to be a little bit more disciplined in terms of doing more testing ahead of time and things like that. But we've been there before. We've worked on supporting SteamOS with different hardware partners in the long ago, and this is just a little bit more of that. So we're pretty familiar.
And does that mean that SteamOS devices in the future you will be working with the companies directly, or is this something where it's like, hey, SteamOS, here it is, you can download it, put it on whatever device?
We have kind of a program called SteamOS Compatible, right? Which definitely involves working directly with the party that would be preloading SteamOS. Okay. If an end user, they're more on the DIY side, they want to load SteamOS on their device, we don't have to get involved. But if someone is preloading SteamOS and having the SteamOS compatible brand on their packaging and all that, it definitely means like we have a close working relationship and we'll keep working together on updates and such.
Okay, so this is awesome, right? Because what he's saying there is like, we are letting people do whatever they want with the operating system if they want to. Okay? So he's letting the door open there. But he's also saying that when it comes to like compatibility, if we are engaged with a program with a specific hardware producer or whatever you want to call them, those manufacturer or those company which are, focusing on delivering a unit compatible with SteamOS, well, we'll be doing it. This is also awesome, chat, because there is still the freedom of Linux there. Everything is open. So obviously they are not going to help you fix your printing issue on SteamOS, Linus. But like, I think this is pretty good.
Okay, awesome. I guess my last question is like, with.
But I like this guy too, because he's asking the question without asking them. He's like, what about the SteamOS and how are you going to support it outside of it, right? He's trying to get to the point where like, are you going to release it? Yes or no? So I'm wondering what will be this last question there.
Supporting these new form factors and working with the different companies, does this mean that like a Steam Deck 2 doesn't really need to come out? Or
Steam Deck 2?
Continuing to support your own hardware, is that still
something that's you definitely at the top of our list. Yeah, we'll be working on that. We're still working on that heavily in the background, and we have a ton of hardware efforts going on because we think it's really important for us to, like I was saying before, put our best foot forward there and show what we think the experience, is according to our goals, even though other people in the industry might have different goals, and we want to support that as well.
Okay,
wow. Okay, so Steam Deck 2 is still there. Even if they are doing all this work on the side, they are still working on a new Steam Deck product. This is awesome, chat. So they are still working on the Steam Deck 2. Bro,
Well, thank you for taking the time to chat with us. Yeah, if you have any questions, please put them down in the comments. You know, maybe we can I can get them forward over to you guys over at Valve. And
for sure.
Yeah, no, thank you for the work with this, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Nice. So Steam Deck 2 confirmed. Maybe a console. I seen the smile on Pierre-Loup, like I've seen it, dude. And on the midterm, long-term, SteamOS. It's going to happen, chat. It's going to happen. Guys, thank you very much for watching. And as always, let's see. Oh, Air Max, what's happening to you? Okay, let's do another one. Another take. Guys, thank you very much for watching. And see you in the next one. Bisous, bisous. Okay, this one is in the box, chat. This one is in the box. Man, you have no idea how many takes sometimes I have to do when making a video. It sucks. Like, making video is not easy, chat. It is not easy at all. Just try to do one and look at it after. You will see how it feels. Harder than a 9 to 5? No, nothing is harder than a 9 to 5, brother. Nothing is harder than a 9 to 5. Easier than cutting your own hair, I bet. Bro, I hate you, dude. Listen, dude. Listen. My man, it was actually cheaper to cut my own hair, okay?